Babies, we're gonna do a reading. I'm gonna do a reading. You do what you do. I am not your mom. I'm gonna do. I want to do tarot and oracle today, so we'll see how that works out. I might do a couple. I really don't want to, but we'll see. Cause what's parenting if you can't steal a juice box? Yeah. All right. Okay, so I'm not even. Okay. I was listening, kind of like I heard it, and usually, like when I'm watching a video after I'm done watching it, like goes away. But this is giving that same vibe. A never-ending midnight. Like, you're like, you want to know what? I was down and out, and I had the opportunity to choose something better. So then I was like, you want to know what? Fuck it. And this is giving very much like... The energy is like King Kong and like why gorillas beat their chest. But it's giving like adrenaline, like activating yourself through celebration. You're like, you want to know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna celebrate myself. You know what I'm saying? And the world talks about like cycles, but it feels like maybe at one point you were like this, like getting an old confidence back or getting back to your identity. But then you've also got the strength reversed here. So it doesn't seem, oh, my trees are growing. They like died over the winter, like, and they're growing. You're doing so good. Anyhow, but this is also literally same energy where it's like you don't have to be truth chills, like full body, like it released from my shoulders. And that's definitely like what it feels like. It's like I don't have to be strong anymore, and anything that puts me in a situation where I have to defend myself or I have to be, you know, like yeah, I can defend myself. Like having to defend yourself is not a flex. Being able to defend yourself is not a flex. You know, like not being in situations where you have to defend yourself, that is a flex. You understand? You're very much stepping into that, like I said, like never ending midnight. I don't know the beat, but honestly, let's see some cards. I feel like that's gonna be all for tarot, and I'm gonna do oracle now. Honestly, I'm gonna do two different types of oracle because that's what I feel like. We're gonna do our smokers cards. See how that comes through. Nice. Okay. Fuck yeah. I love that for you. Literally, I love these cards because every time I do tarot and oracle, they always like on like pinpoint, like fucking brave the arrow going through the arrow, like on point. So you have seduction, ego death, and alignment. You went through this space where you were like, this is like a, you know, but you went through this space where you were bound to something, whether that be other people's opinions or relationships, spaces, mindsets, whatever the fuck. Like it was very much like, this is like the devil card, right? So seduction talks about the devil binding, control, you know, inability, you know, kind of think of like bondage, jail, any kind of variety of that, right? But also in a way that like feels comfortable. You're like, you know, it's kind of given like, if I'm in jail, I have free rent and free food. You know, it's kind of given that vibe. Then ego death is like the tower. The tower card talks about like the destruction of things. You can't build a house and moldy foundation, right? So the destruction of that might knock you down, but bring you into alignment. Magic. The way that it's showing up, this looks like what? This is the right hand. So this is light coming out of your giving hand. This might be something where you're recognizing, one, what you've been receiving. Excuse me. And the way that this kind of is showing to me is like melting vines. Like you were bound, but then they're kind of just melting off of you. Like imagine like the wax museum or whatever, and it's like if someone was bound in vines, like only the bondage is melting off of you, but in a way where it's like it's nurturing you. Does that make sense? Where it's like it's a very strong visual that I'm getting here. Like if this is you and you have like all these things around you, they're kind of melting off into the soil. And then it's like a lesson, but not in the typical, like I did this or this happened to me and this is what I learned from it, but more of like, this happened and I, like, I don't know how to explain. It's very specific. If you know what I'm talking about, if this is like a reading for you, you'll know like exactly what I'm talking about. There's no way that you'll miss it. But it feels like you're like, it's a lesson that was like, looking back on it, you've realized it was a lesson, but not, no, because that still implies like all the other lessons that kind of show up. This is very like specific, where it's not like the typical lesson of like something was learned. Anyhow, if this message was for you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, you broke out of a bondage and realized alignment, and now you're like, you're like, I can create whatever life I want to create, because the light is in my hands, and not only that, but in my giving hands. So it's not something that like I can give to myself, I can give to those around me, I can give to situations I can choose not to give, things of that. Maybe that's something else, is that like you realized something that already existed, but then you expanded on it, and if it was like, I can give, you were like, I have the ability to not give, or like, So we're gonna do, I'm gonna say 1 or 2, if you would, because this is from the book. Nice, 2 came out. Trust and love, amen. Yeah. All right, let's see. Trust is the horse and love is the swans. So we'll go through the book really quick. Hopefully I can find it. Found them. Good, great. So the card represents trust and loyalty throughout history and within different cultures. Horses have been associated with war, power, death, and luck. Focus. Boom, there she is. Any who have chosen to work alongside them or ride them will probably favor the theme of trust. A large and imposing creature, since its domestication, the horse has been an essential part of human development for good or ill. Humans have entrusted horses with their lives and fortunes. Horses have loyally walked alongside humans in battle, storm, and over oceans. This card is symbolic of allegiance, solidarity, and camaraderie. Camaraderie. I'm saying that wrong, like 100%, so educate me. It's a friendship forged for mutual respect and shared adversaries. When a horse is trained to be ridden, they are said to be broken. Through this process, the natural animal urges to flow or flee are replaced with subservience to the human rider. One reading of this card could be warning you not to trust blindly, to follow your own will, and to feel when you are being led astray. It's urging you to trust in yourself. What came through when I was reading that was, maybe if it is something in regards to coming back to yourself, recognizing there's a lot of solar plexus work being done collectively, and I definitely 100% feel it, which is good. Like that's we should, like, that's the core of what we should be working on, especially if you're like chakras and spirituality. Stop trying to open your third eye and get your solar plexus balanced first, right? But what's coming through with that is like this idea of either coming back or coming into your faith with a newfound perspective, where it is like you were broken to have faith, right? Like how horses are broken. But in a way where you recognized when you were being tested, if that makes sense. There's a lot of like imagery or wording around testing, around lessons. So thinking about another thought that's coming into my brain right now is somebody talking about how the Abrahamic God is like often talks about like wanting people to sacrifice their children and stuff in the Old Testament, and how, you know, it was proof that they listened to God. But the way that it's coming through now is you're like, you want to know what? I hear you, right? Like, you are God, and I'm, you know, I'm humble enough to understand that I'm not you, and I don't have your powers, and I'm also not going to do anything that I personally, as a living being, experiencing, you know, embodied human who allows you, you know, like you could like deny this, but you're like, you want to know what? If God was to ask me to do something horrific, I'm gonna stand on my own loyalty. Because, and I'm saying God because that's what came through, was like a religious or spiritual aspect, where maybe you went through a psychosis, or you went through kind of like a disconnect from religion or your faith, when you're like, okay, so I've now found my belief, my faith is my own, right? So while other people might just blindly like, God is everything, I'll just do whatever God tells me to, sometimes God tells you like, do something to see if the God within you, the peace of God that is within you, because we're created in his image, like, would God want to kill his children? You can say like, he sent Jesus, but I'm not talking about that. Like, I'm talking about the reality of like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a very specific energy here that whatever. And then we got swans, love. Let me see, there they are. It's going to say something about being social creatures and pairing for life. So be aware. Here she is. The card represents love in all forms, but be it romantic, platonic, familiar, sexual, or self-love. Swans mate for life and become symbolic of true love, commitment, and long-lasting affection. The card implies the finding of love as well as the giving of love. It is emblematic of commitment, loyalty, partnership, and faithfulness. There's a lot of like loyalty, faithfulness, fidelity, something like that, where it's like you're... Why am I blurry? Thank you. There you go. Where your commitment to something matters, right? The swan card may symbolize self-love and acceptance, overcoming self-doubt or hatred to see the beauty within. When we're reminded of Hans Christian Andersen's tale of the ugly duckling, we might understand this card to show us that we hold true beauty no matter what our inner or outer... I don't understand half of these words. I'm so sorry. Saboteurs may say. They have like other elements here where it's like correspondence, elements, florals, stones, and spellwork and things of that. In the spellwork element, it says blessing a union, which is definitely what it feels like. But I don't feel like this to be an external union. I feel like, again, truth chills. This is the third time I've gotten chills through my body during this reading. But it feels like this energy of like you realizing you work with the ether, with God, with, you know, whatever it is. I'm shaking my head no, but I'm, you know, like, I'm not, you know, I've been really focused on like my body language. And I'm saying it like, and not no. So just want to clarify that. But it's like, you're really looking into this and that and finding where you exist and recognizing that you can, like, even if it is God, like, you can say, hey God, I don't want to do that, you know, and very much allowing yourself to, also another thing, if there's, this is going to be very specific, if there's any kind of triangulation that you have to decide between, whether it's 2 jobs, 2 lovers, you know, whatever it is, if you're like, should I move here or stay where I am, or whatever it is, I keep being reminded of the like the opportunity of like, I don't have to decide at all. Like, no response is still a response. Does that make sense? So I'm not sure if that's relevant to you, of like, you want to know what? Like, I will make a choice at my own time, and right now is not the time to make a choice. Because sometimes it's like, especially if it's like career or love or something like that, like that will expose people's intentions. Like if someone's waiting to, you know, if they're offering a career opportunity, is like, is it conditional to time? Like, can I take the time to think about it? And if that time is 6 to 8 months, is that opportunity still going to be present, you know, when I come back? So really honoring yourself and saying like, what I give is very much optional to what I'm experiencing. And like, really, I love that for you, because it does. It feels like you're like, you want to know what? I've got the power. I've got the power. Little Mix power. Who's got the power? I've got the power. Take it as it resonates. Much love to you. Thanks for being my